you create your own world, and you could create a world where you don't hurt anyone, and where you could maintain a safe way of living, and yet find new ways of doing things, making new friends, and finding that life is what you make it, not what others make for you.
I think race is particularly profound in this country because of the historical origins of this country. I mean, if you want to use the metaphor of the house, right? If you build a house on a rotten foundation, the house is always going to have structural issues. Well, this country is built on a rotten foundation. Land was stolen, right? People were brutally murdered, and the economy was built on slave labor. Okay? So, if you want to fix that house, you gotta knock the house down, right? And deal with the foundation. You gotta repair that foundation, and this country refuses to do it. Right? They don't want to deal with genocide. They don't want to deal with slavery. They don't want to deal with all the ways in which white supremacy formed the foundation of the social system, the legal system, and the economy.
Against homophobia, fight against racial violence, against the unjust U.S. blockade of Cuba. You may have supported Mandela and others elsewhere in the world, but here we have so many political prisoners that the U.S. government will not admit to them. We have hundreds who should be recognized as heroes and sheroes.
There's been a lot of very narrow thinking where the dominant people in the United States who are white, they talk a certain way as if white people were smarter and were more capable and could become independent without getting in trouble. And I think white people and the whole white world really, in their narrow-mindedness, actually, they may not admit their racism, but I think they did more damage to make people of color seem more insignificant and not capable.
Geez, today we have more people incarcerated than any time in history. Folks of color make about 80% of everybody locked up. About 80% of everybody that's locked up or behind bars is in there for a non-violent offense. The majority of people in prison are in there for petty drug charges. So, we're seeing how this is impacting our communities. I believe the bottom line is that racism is inherently involved in the prison system and police brutality and those type of policies that exist. If police officers really had a better understanding of the historical context of why our communities are how they are, then they would understand a little bit more about why people are doing some of the things that they're doing. Our community didn't end up like this overnight. We're in this place because of hundreds of years of oppression and colonization. So, I believe if everybody just started learning a little bit more of that history, we'd be able to better understand those folks that are still getting caught and tripping over, I think, on a lot of those issues and things like that. But at the same time, I understand that once you become a police officer, your allegiance is to the force and not necessarily to the community. And it's a hard thing to say, but I think it's a harder thing to live and understand. That at the end of the day, whatever a police officer's superior asks or tells them to do is exactly what the police officer will do, regardless of whether they think it's fair or not. That's just the way that the structure is set up. I have a 2-year-old son, and, you know, my biggest fear is for him to get caught up in the criminal justice system. You know, wrong place at the wrong time, pulled over for whatever reason, you know, and it's sad that has to be my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that my son will get brutalized by a police officer